Hey everyone, it is Kay with Create with Kay coming at you with another amazing card. We are using this amazing floral abstract stencil. It is a 3-part stencil that will cover your full A2 panel. Love this one, super easy. So let's get going on making this card. I've been thinking lately that I need to pack my stash up with some thank you and sympathy cards. And so today we are working on that and making a thank you card with this layered stencil. Unfortunately, I lost a little bit of footage right there on just the green stencil, which is the first stencil. And the only thing that I wanted to mention from that is I think that doing a little bit of pixie spray on the back of that stencil would probably help amazingly. There is just a little bit of small spots on there that I thought, yeah, I could probably use a little bit of pixie spray on that. All right, so the next exciting thing that I have received are these adorable little ink cubes. And I just have 2 colorways, I guess I should say. They do come in packs of 4. And I think that they are such a good price for 4 little inks to try. And I love ink cubes to try out new inks. These inks are felt pads. So there are usually 2 different types of ink pads in this industry, which are felt and foam, and I have both. I like both at this point. I'm pretty new to the foam ones. On a regular, I've always had felt, but the foam ones are fine too. But the felt ones are definitely great for more heavy handers, and I am a pretty big heavy hander. So the first colorway is like this pink, like pink to reddish color, and this one has the colors Posy, Scarlet, Nectar, and Crimson, which you're seeing Posy and Scarlet here on this card. And then the blue ones will have Beachside, Whisper, Dreamer, and Cedar. I think this blue is going to be absolutely amazing for skies, and hopefully soon when we get to like beach cards for like the ocean water. I can't wait to make a few beach cards. I got out my detail brushes from Brass and Bliss for right in the center. I wanted to just put ink right in the center to create a little bit of dimension, and these brushes were absolutely perfect for that. As you can see there, those ink pads were juicy, and I was picking up lots of ink with them with those brushes. So I went back and I would just blend that out just a little bit to make it nice and soft. But otherwise, I absolutely loved working with these inks. Look at how cute they were. The other thing I did love about them is that the way their labels are put on, the lids will not come away from, I mean, you can break the label, but I like it because when other mini cubes, the lids just go everywhere. And I don't know, but I'm a messy crafter. I'm always got everything everywhere. So I like that those lids are right there connected, and I don't have to worry about, searching 20 minutes for lids. All right. So here I am coming in with the second color, which is Whisper, and I'm just doing that to create a little bit of dimension and depth to my panel. And obviously this is a pretty 1-layered type of card. I am going to at the end pop this up on foam, but for the most part it is like a 1-layered card, so giving it the most dimension and kind of like using like the flowers like a little bit more in the center to create dimension is definitely perfect for this card. All right, so over here I am going to pull out a little bit my other blending brushes. I wasn't quite ready to mix the colors on my other blending brushes yet, so I did pull these ones out. You're going to see here in a minute that I actually get a purple because I accidentally mixed the red and the blues together right there. I think it's that one. Is it that one that I got a little bit of purple? I think so. Or maybe it's the next one. It might be the next layer. These layering stencils worked perfectly. You're going to see right here that I'm like going down to put the wrong. I'm like, oh wait, no, backwards, and flipped it over very quickly because all of these stencils have 1, 2, and 3 on them so that you can quickly recognize what stencil you have in your hand. And you can line up the 3 edges with, I think there's like a little square on one end and then a number 3 on one and I think a square on the other, so that you can line up your stencil easily each time. I did not find it hard to line mine up at all. I just lined the top up with the very top of my paper. And then honestly, the way I just randomly cut my paper, it fit perfectly in between the little box and the little number. So I found it very easy. Oh yeah, here I am. When I use my blue, that's when I'm going to, I put that blue right up there too close to those little leaves. And I was like, oh crud. I ended up making a little bit of purple, but that's okay. A little bit of purple is no problem at all. So yeah, I mentioned earlier that I have noticed in my stash or at times in my life that I need like a sympathy card or a thank you card. And they usually come at times where I can't just sit down and get a card out real quick. But if you do and you need a card out real quick, I do recommend pulling out a layered stencil like this one, and especially one that does a full panel like this. And it's super easy to just get something down on paper real quick. And then like I'm about to do, I am just taking some regular nesting dies, a circle nesting die and a rectangle nesting die, along with my large thank you sentiment from Brass and Bliss, and making a full card of it. It's going to take one pass, a couple I should say 2 passes, I think, through my die cutting machine. One for this, because I did it together. You don't have to do it together, but I did. So I just cut a large circle out of the middle of that. And then popping that up on some good old-fashioned foam tape, of course, like I mentioned before. And then I did cut my thank you die out of 3. I think I cut it out 3 times and layered those all together. That might be coming up. I can't remember if I cut that part out or not. Here we go. I'm gonna get that big old roll of foam to put that down. Peeled off all of the backing, and then I'm going to put that down. Remember, I did cut that out with a nesting die, and then I put it down wrong. Guys, use your misties. It's easy to use your misties to kind of line this up, and don't try and pull up like that. I was like, yeah, I'm going to rip the card. I'm going to deal with it being a smidgen off. So I should have put liquid glue over my foam also. That would have helped me be able to wiggle it a little bit. So do that. Here I am just using all of the scraps to cut out my thank you die, I should say. And then I went to go and try and find some cardstock that would match for the top layer, because I was putting this on white, on the background was white, and I just could not find something. So the best way when you are trying to color match is to use the ink, might as well, so that you get that perfect match. So I pulled out those inks. Again, just using that Posy for that lightest one. You're going to see, I am doing white to pink, so it is going to take a little bit of ink blending, but you're going to see that it just ink blends so good, and it's going to come out. Oh, I think I moved up. I think, yes, there we go. I'm like, okay, this is too light, probably. Let me move up to the next one. There we go. And since these are all in the same colorway, all of it is going to match. There we go. Now we're getting some color and ink down. I'm liking that a lot better. Normally I would also like do a like an ombre effect almost. I did not do that here. I did want just a solid. I was going after that cardstock look. So I just did the whole thing. It is also much easier if you can keep the sentiment in the paper. So as you can see, I literally didn't even move it off of my magnetic magic mat. I just put it straight to paper, or straight down. I was like, we're not going to move that because it's super easy. You don't tear it. You don't move it. You just ink blend right over top of it, and it's super easy to do. You could also ink blend the paper before die cutting it. I think that is just much easier to do it after. All right, here is a step that you can you can skip. I just like some dimension in my sentiments, and this one, again, like I said, I popped up that back panel, so I didn't want it to be recessed into the card. It would have sat on that bottom layer, so I wanted it also popped up. So putting 3 layers down got me that height so that I would not have that sentiment so far down. So just using my Barely Arts glue, my favorite glue because of that fine tip, to put this down. And then there is, see how pretty that ended up being? It smoothed all out and everything. I just love how this whole card came out. And honestly, I think my footage is like, it looks like about 30 minutes, honestly, to put you're going to notice this is a pretty short video for me. And at this point, I was making 2 cards. I just chose to show you guys one. It was pretty much the same thing. I just kind of did a little bit something different on the other card. There we go. Putting that down. And then we are just going to zhuzh this up with a couple of rhinestones, of course. I just pulled out some regular clear rhinestones to put them down for the middle of the flowers, just to give it, like I said, a little bit more of a sparkle. I did not do this. Like I said, I did a sympathy card for the other one. I did not do it on the sympathy card. I felt like we don't need rhinestones for that. I don't know. Is anybody else weird about sympathy cards? Let me know in the comments below. But that is pretty much going to wrap up this card. Like I said, this one came to... I am usually an hour to hour and a half maker of a card. Just because I color and, scene build and all that good stuff, mask and everything. So this was definitely refreshing to just take about a half hour, maybe 45 minutes after everything, and get a card out of it. So let me know in the comments below what you think. And of course, I will have everything linked below if you are interested in any of this. Again, like I said, layered stencils for the win when you want a nice and quick card. Here are a couple of images of the final product. Look at how beautiful and soft. It's perfect for spring coming up. All right, thank you guys, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.